So hi guys, welcome to my channel. So how has your day been? Mine has been good. I'm unwrapping a package. Guess what this is? Si wiki imekimbia mbio. So have you ever been in a situation where you're telling your own story but then you're embarrassed about it? So I have this book here. It's called Foundations Geography. Nelson Key Geography Foundations. What edition is this? 5th edition, and it's written by somebody called, actually two people, David Wow and Tony Bushell. So these are definitely Europeans. So I was reading something to some students of mine in the name of revision, and now because this is a geography book, and I thought, well, let me do something that I can totally relate about, because geography left me when I was in Form 2 back in high school. And so I thought, well, it's about Africa, it's about Kenya, then why not, you know? But then have you ever, like, you're looking at something and you feel embarrassed because, oh my God, not really because it's so bad, but because you feel like, no, this is not a true reflection of who we are. You understand, or you get what I mean? So this is a book, and among the topics that we have here, apparently Foundations, this is for junior secondary level. And this is knowledge that is taught in high school. This is supposed to be an international book, by the way. So it has several topics. There is introduction to geo, weather and climate, river flooding, urbanization. So there is this topic number 5, Kenya and Africa. I don't know if you can see. Where is it? Kenya and Africa. What is Kenya like? What are Africa's main physical features? What are Africa's main human features? Also, what are Kenya's main physical features? Why is Kenya's population unevenly spread? Present-day movements and population. What is it like living in Nairobi? What is the Maasai way of life? What's a developing country? And then the Kenya inquiry. So they were basically learning about the whole topic on developing countries and developed countries, like looking at the difference between developing countries and developed countries. So of course, Kenya is there on the map as an example of a developing country. And even without saying, of course, we know what a developing country is. So this book gives us as an example, okay? So I think it's like cut out for the Kenyan whatever, because we are a developing country and this is Kenya, so of course we need to know something about our country. But then I was reading it to people or a person who is not Kenyan, so you can just imagine how I felt when I was reading this thing. So I'll go right to page page 72. So of course, you know, a developing country is a country that has its gross national product is still low. The living standards are also quite low. What else? What other characteristics of developing countries do you know? Ooh. So I think I should start with what is Africa like before I go to Kenya. So let's see. What is Africa like? Okay, forget it, because I can't see it. But then I read it in some other, I think it's not here. Okay, fine. We can look at what is Kenya like. So it is an introduction to a unit 5. So after a general introduction on Africa, this unit is about Kenya, a developing country. Although it is very poor economically, it is rich in scenery and wildlife and has a cheerful people and some great athletes. Well, so we call this attacking and defending. You know, when they say something negative about you, but then it's followed by something positive, you know. So although it is very poor economically, it is rich in scenery and wildlife and has cheerful people. Well, attacking and defending, like I said. So of course, they're taught about, or they learn about why learning about Kenya is important. Let me see. Learning about Kenya gives you an interest and knowledge of people and places that are very different from those found in the UK. Very different. How? Anyway, you'll find out why they're very different. So I'll skip the rest. So let's start with the pictorials. So there is a picture of Nairobi here, a very beautiful picture. I even don't have a problem with that. So you see, this is how Nairobi looks like. So I'm sure you can identify some of the buildings there, like KICC na zinginezo. Is Samburu village. Samburu village in Kenya. Let me tell you something that will shock you. So there is a picture of Kenyan school children, like not even specified which part of Kenya, but this is a picture that is set out there to represent all the school going kids in Kenya. So let's take a look. I'm sorry if you see your grandfather, your grandmother, or anybody, because I don't know when this picture was taken. But then that is a picture of very happy people in Kenya. So at least, they said we are very cheerful people. So at least you can see some cheerful faces there. Real happiness, I tell you. There is a mama carrying a jug. But well, these are school-going kids. Why am I even saying that's a mama? I'm talking about this lady here. Is she a kid or a mama? There's also this one. So like school-going children. I don't get it. Okay? But I can see some happy faces. So this is a picture that is supposed to represent school-going children in Kenya. Is it fair? Is it fair? Anywho, what do I know? So that is a picture because you see here it says school. Oh, Kenyan school children, all of us. So this is how Kenyan school children look like. Well, that is not even everything. So let's continue. But seriously, who are these people? They should even have specified which school it is. Well, it's not even a school because these people are not even in uniform. This is so absurd. Oh my god. That's just something I realized right now because I hadn't seen it. Which age of school going children is this? Which region? Or let's just say to the world, this is how Kenyan school children look like. We go to school without uniforms. We go to school carrying jugs. We have, those are not even headbands, You know what I mean? Oh my god. What are Africa's main human features now? So with a total population of over 1 billion, Africa is the world's second most populated continent. The population is growing rapidly as birth rates are very high. Families are often large and about half the population is young and aged between 15 years. I didn't even know that. Is that even true? I don't know. Most Africans live in the countryside. But a growing number are now found in towns and cities. We can take it as knowledge. I'm learning right now, so I don't know. Africa is the poorest inhabited continent in the world. Many of its people live in extreme poverty. Or is it poverty? With a very low standard of living and quality of life. Maki, I was reading this to a student. I was very embarrassed because I was like, what the heck? Some progress has been made in recent years, however, with signs of economic growth and improved living conditions in several countries. This improvement is largely due to changes in government policies and a better use of resources. You get what I mean? Attack while defending. Now, welcome back. Sorry, I got a bit distracted. So we are looking at Kenya's main features. So it begins with Jambo. So I was saying this is the most famous word that is known in the world from Kenya. Jambo, a Swahili word, okay? So Jambo means hello. And it is the greeting always given by Kenyans. It is usually accompanied with a broad smile and an offer to help. Indeed, most Kenyans seem always to be cheerful. Nakwambia repetition. For emphasis, we are cheerful people. I am so proud of that. Relaxed and willing to help others. Najua Nairobi kweli. Do they know about Nairobi? Like, if you've stayed in Nairobi long enough, you know that that kind of heart or that helping hand can actually land you in trouble. But they do not know that. Nobody can tell them that, yeah? Now, yes, life in Kenya can be very difficult. It is one of the poorest countries in the world. Has few services, little industry, and a low standard of living. It is called a developing country because that is what they are learning about basically. And it is very different from the UK, which is rich, has a high standard of living, and is an example of a developed country. Oh my God. Punchline. Yet life in Kenya can be very difficult. Yani, we are very happy people. Very relaxed, willing to help. But, disclaimer, life can be very difficult. Why? Because we are a developing country. Anyway, let's continue. Despite being poor in terms of wealth, Kenya is rich in scenery and wildlife, attacking while defending. Despite being poor in terms of health, Kenya is rich in scenery and wildlife and has become a popular tourist attraction or destination, Inland, there are high mountains, volcanoes, lakes, grassy, blah, 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 all those things, safaris. Well, there's a picture here. Oh, there's the introduction to where it gets to the Maasai. It says that Kenya also has a varied population which is made up of people from several different groups and tribes, which is very true. Each group has its own ethnic background with its own language, region, and its own way of life. Very true. Two of the best known tribes are the Maasai and the Kikuyu. Sisi tukisema sisi in the minority, like who even knows, like Amateso, who even like if I ask you to name or to mention 10 Teso people, can you mention, or you only know a Masa? Can you? Anywho, that is not the concern here. But yeah, so the best known tribes, according to the writers of this book, we have the Maasai and the Kikuyu. But I know the most popular tribe, of course, is the Maasai. Kenya's two main cities are Nairobi and Mombasa at the coast. But now, this picture that I want us to see. So it says Jambo. A developing country is usually quite poor. Like Kenya in Africa. Like this picture here. Jambo. Our own greeting. A developing country is usually very poor. Like Kenya in Africa. Like, oh my goodness. There are no kind words to... maybe not overreact, by the way. Am I overreacting? Because we're... I think we're not this bad as it's being explained. I mean, like, this is not us. Yani the emphasis on the poverty. But anyway, we are poor. So let's see what is being talked about the Maasai. So let me look for it very first. Yeah, I got it. The Maasai in Kenya. Wait. What is it like living in Nairobi? Why am I forgetting that? So how? Oh my God. Let me show you some pictures here. So there is this. So this one we saw, I think, in the previous picture. But then there is this slum area. Sikatai, they're in Kenya, because they wanted to create a picture of, the variations. So, like most cities in developing countries, there are two sides to Nairobi. But that is very true. One side is seen by overseas visitors and the relatively few wealthy Kenyans. So photo A, here in ICC, photo A shows the most important building in Nairobi. It is the Kenyatta International Conference Center, named after the first president, Jomo Kenyatta. Now, around it, in central Nairobi, are tall modern buildings and wide tree-lined streets. Waya sasa kama uendangi tao, hauonangi vitu zenye watu wealthy wanaona. Around it, So kama hujaiona buildings zenye ziko around KICC, ole wako. Like you're the kind of people who are being talked about here, but I'm being just sarcastic. Okay. Now, so that is one side of Nairobi. The other side of Nairobi is the one seen by most of the Kenyans who migrate from the surrounding rural areas. Most migrants, or is it migrants? Most migrants move to live with family and friends already living in Nairobi. Like, umetoka ushago. The first point utatafuta ni niko na aunti yangu anaishi mahali, ebu acha nienda nishikilie kidogo. So you go. They share houses, food, and even jobs. In time, the newcomers may be able to construct their own homes in one of several shanty settlements found on the edge of the city, which is in Photo B. Islam. I mean, bana. Like, well, anyway, it's not a lie, because if you're coming to the city for the first time, someone will have to host you, and then you gain momentum with time, and then you're able to now move out and rent your own, let me not say apartment, because wamesema tuna move to the shanty places. You rent your own single room. Oh my goodness. Anywho, so let's continue. So we are looking at living in Kibera or Kibera. The student I was reading this one too was calling it Kibera. So how is life in living in Kibera? Let me tell you. Everything else, when they're describing a shanty place, it's okay. But you know what struck me the most is this statement here. I'll just read the first, do they call it paragraph in geography? I don't know. So it says, Kibera is one shanty settlement. It is 6 kilometers and a 10 pence bus ride. 10 pence hiyo ni kama, sasa sijui nitumie conversions za wapi, but inamaanisha fare yenye inalipwa kutoka Tao hadi kwenda Kibera kidogo. Okay? So a 10 pence bus ride from the city center. Disclaimer. However, most inhabitants who wish to make that journey, Safari ya Samburu, most inhabitants who wish to make that journey are you ready to walk because they cannot afford the fare. Oh my God. Why haven't I noticed we are this poor? Let me read it one more time. However, okay, 6 kilometers and a 10 pence bus ride from the city center. However, most inhabitants who wish to make that journey have to walk because they cannot afford the bus fare. Okay, it's fine. Now listen. Houses in Kibera are built close together. Sometimes it's hard to squeeze between them. I haven't been to Kibera, but it's maybe true, maybe not. The walls are usually made from mud and the roofs from corrugated iron. Inside, there's often only one room. Very few homes have water, electricity, or sewage. One resident who is considered rich by Kibera standards has a tap and can sell water to his neighbors. He also has a toilet, but this is only emptied 4 times a year. Wait, kwani how many times should it be emptied? So by Kibera standards, the richest person at least akona tap. Yenye anafanya nini? Anauzia watu wengine. Alafu pia kuna toilet, and the toilet is oh my God, are we really this bad? Anyway, sewage runs down the tracks between the houses. In the wet season, You're not ready for this. Acha tuniachane nayo. But like I was saying, as a Kenyan, when I was reading this to a student who is not Kenyan, I felt embarrassed about our country because I'm like, yeah. Kwani niko nchi ingine? Oh my God. I'm not telling you what when it rains, what happens. All right. So let's continue. Now, Kenya has one of the highest birth rates in the world. Lakini si tulitumwa tujaze dunia surely. Kwani is that a problem? Like we're just carrying God's orders. This is not fair. Now, in Kibera, it is not unusual for families to have more than 10 children. Yani ni kitu ya kawaida kama injili. Na maisha inasonga mbele. Very few children can read or write. And there is only one small school. Is there one school in Kibera? I don't know. Many suffer from a poor diet or malaria. Oh, wait. Oh, very few children can read and write. Most of them suffer from malaria. Others catch diseases by drinking dirty water or playing in sewage. See how I overdo this story in sewage, but it's too much. Okay. Because we don't have employment, it says these people have to find their own way to earn money. Some have stalls from which they sell food. Others who have learnt a skill may turn their houses into shops and collect waste material and recycle it in small workshops. What is that? Recycle what? Oh my God, this is sad. Now, the last thing, we're learning about the Maasai in Kenya. So, there is this interesting. Mimi nimesoma story ya Maasai, lakini kuna vitu zingine sijawahi jua hapa. Now, one ethnic group living in Kenya are the Maasai. They are pastoralists with herds of cattle and goats. Some are nomadic and have to move about to find water and grass for their animals. Very correct. The Maasai depend on these animals for their daily food. Very correct. It is cattle, not money, which means wealth to the Maasai. Dunia ya sasa. Cause I don't know. And because of that, indeed, the usual Maasai greeting is, I hope your cows are well. Yani hawa hawataki pesa. Bora tu wako na ng'ombe 20 wako tu sawa. But then they have wako sawa kwa sababu at the end of the day wanaona hao ng'ombe wote and they know that is wealth. Like, how does June explain aje, but well. Now, the dress. Of course, men wear brightly colored blankets and women wear lengths of cloth. The women shave their heads and wear beads around their necks. Maasai people, do you still like shave your heads bald? Okay. Teeth are cleaned with sticks, and the men also use sticks to comb their hair. Okay, I know about stick toothbrushes, but then using sticks to comb your hair in this era, hai hapana. But inaweza kuwa ukweli because sio umesema hatuna pesa tunaweza tembea kutoka Tao hadi Kibera. So maybe if we apply the same mentality, enyewe we can't even afford to buy a comb. So we use sticks. Okay. As water is often scarce, the Maasai use animal and vegetable fat to clean themselves and sweet-smelling grasses for perfume. Bro, we can't even afford mafuta. Tunatumia mafuta ya ng'ombe. Ni mafuta ya ng'ombe na nini? Na nyasi. Kama perfume. Oh my God. You don't know. Well, aya. The women have to collect, so we're looking at jobs. The women have to collect sticks for fire and water for cooking. They also make baskets and jewelry. The men spend the whole day guarding the animals. The Maasai regard the ground as sacred. Sawa? They regard the ground as sacred and believe it should not be broken. This means no crops can be grown, wells cannot be dug, and often the dead are not buried but left to the wild animals. Sasa wewe ukidedi, pelekwa huko Mount Kilimanjaro, not even which one? Mount Forest. Which forest is next to Maasai land? Pelekwa huko hivyo ukufe huko watu wako like because the ground is sacred, hawezi taka kukuweka 6 feet under. Is that true? Maybe in the olden days, but in this era, guys, alafu hii part ya na hii government ngumu, like how do you even consider your ground to be sacred to the extent that you don't want to plant crops? Mkule nini? I don't know, but well, that is it. End of lesson. But honestly, what do you think about this? Because this is a book that was, let me see, it's a 5th edition. When last was it edited? I don't know if you can find that. The 5th edition, published in 2014. Oh, it's been a while. But 2014 si kitambo sana. Guys, are with this bird? I feel like the whole concept on, you know, when they want to get out these or to give this idea about a developing country, well, the emphasis is supposed to be on the poverty, and I know Kenya is a developing country, sikatai, but is too much. What do you think? Especially because I hear to Kibera 6 kilometers, it costs only 10 pence. Sio mimi sijui ni pesa ngapi kwa conversion, but then it's that cheap. Lakini kwa sababu we can't afford the fare, tunatembea kutoka Tao hadi Kibera. Also, Jambo, a developing country is a poor country like Kenya. David Wow and Tony Bushell. I think I blame whoever was giving them the information to, you know, document this book. But otherwise, I was just sharing knowledge and information from a book. So I hope you got entertained, because this was really a wow thing. Especially because I was reading it and I wasn't expecting to find such kind of information. You know, the kind of excitement you have, well, this one I'm confident it's about Kenya and Africa. And then chenye unapata pale tu ni mambo ya attack and defend. Oh my God, you don't know. Anyway, that has been it. I know this is the longest video I've ever made, but I had fun making this. So you tell me what you think about all this. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.